CN News.
Your home for Hannity each afternoon at 3 p.m. Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Welcome in to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht. The stories you've heard and the ones you need to hear.
Amy Coney Barrett.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give this committee?
I believe Americans of all backgrounds deserve an independent Supreme Court.
We're court packing right now.
Rushing to confirm Judge Barrett.
I went through it. Now they say I'm immune. I feel so powerful. I'll walk into that office.
It's go time.
Your life, your values, your voice. This is News and Views with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, welcome in. It is News and Views for a Tuesday, the big Trump coming to Greenville rally week. Some interesting news from yesterday. Doug Collins, representing in the House and from Georgia, he introduced a resolution to push the removal of Nancy Pelosi, claiming that she's nuts. Well,
That's not an appropriate question for you to ask.
Yeah, well, I didn't ask it. I'm telling you, you're nuts. He said she does not have the mental fitness to lead the House of Representatives. Speaker Nancy Pelosi's unwillingness to abide by the Constitution, combined with her recent actions, call into question her own mental fitness, which is why it's critical that the House of Representatives demand her removal from the line of succession. Yeah, she could be the president if it goes to a tie and they don't have it resolved by the time it's inauguration day. But I mean, she deserves this. I mean, if she's going to play these stupid games, then okay, fine. You make up the ground rules, and we'll claim that you're nuts.
Yeah, I've said.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
I've said for a time now, I think Pelosi, I'm not so sure her cognitive abilities is maybe worse than Biden's, because
that's pretty bad.
Some of the things she says is just amazing to me. But one nonpartisan or bipartisan or whatever how you want to describe it, thing that I can say that I hope everyone can agree, it's time for a lot of people to retire. I listened to the hearings and either at night or some of them today. I mean, You've got Senator Feinstein, Senator Leahy.
Well, Feinstein's what, like 92?
I think she's late 80s, 87 or 88.
Check that, Clark. I think she's elderly.
But Patrick Leahy, and Senator Grassley from Iowa, Republican. I mean,
when they got to take you out in a pine box, but I mean that's Robert Byrd. They took him out in a pine box. Strom Thurmond.
But a couple of times today, I'm like, oh no, do we have to listen to this? and they just ramble about things.
The thing about it is, all they got to do is just run the same thing they did with Gorsuch and with Kavanaugh. Same questions, same thing. We'll get to the hearing in a little bit. First in Freedom Daily is reporting that the problems for Cal Cunningham keep piling up. And he keeps blaming Tom Tillis. This is unbelievable. She's 87. Okay, Feinstein's 87. I would hope. She's the oldest, the producer says, and we hope that there's none 89 and older, although some of them are probably getting close. A complaint has been filed with the Federal Elections Commission upon revelation from Arlene Guzman Todd, that would be Cal Cunningham's former lover. Apparently she's on the outs now, or he's on the outs with her. She's the one that threatened to post naked pictures of Cal. Cunningham's confirmed mistress that here's the problem. The Federal Elections Commission is looking into, did Cal use campaign money to fund a trip to California that may have involved some intimacy with Todd? Evie Fordham from Fox News reports a conservative watchdog group filed an FEC complaint today asking for an investigation into Democratic candidate Cal Cunningham. Why do I always say Democrat candidate Cal Cunningham March trip to California that used campaign funds after revelations of his extramarital affair. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Americans for Public Trust Executive Director Caitlin Sutherland, who filed the complaint, told Fox News he had an event on March the 6th. What hotel did he stay in on the 7th? Cunningham appears to have had two campaign events, a podcast appearance, and dinner with donors on his calendar. You have to go all the way to California to get on a podcast? I think you can do that from here, Cal. On March 7th, 2020, a prominent California political donor posted to Facebook that she had met Cunningham at dinner the night before. Americans for Public Trust wrote in the complaint on October 6, 2020, it was reported by a local North Carolina press outlet that Mr. Cunningham had engaged in an extramarital affair in California in March of 2020. It doesn't take a sleuth to figure out that Cunningham and Guzman Todd became, quote, acquainted on this trip. I guess they were acquainted.
That's one way to say it.
Yeah, that's the PG version. Were donors paying for a hotel room in which he slept with a woman who was not his wife. The Cunningham campaign reportedly called the complaint a partisan attack, an effort by Tillis allies to saddle Cunningham over personal issues. Who does that sound like? Can you say Hillary Clinton?
Where's the National Enquirer when you need them?
Yeah,
You know, they investigated. They were the only ones that came clean on John Edwards there. What, 2004, I guess it was, or so.
That's hard to believe it's been that long. Remember, none of this would have been available to aid the Tillis campaign if it were not for the fact that Cunningham couldn't keep his pants on. I mean, come on, Cal. Really? You're going to... And by the way, if it was the other way around and you had some scandalous information on Tillis, would you not be using it?
So I'm curious, the phrase that's being used, every publication see, a woman that is not his wife. I mean, are they afraid to put a label on having an affair? I mean, I guess you can't say the word mistress anymore.
Letter,
or
the Scarlet A. Speaking of Tom Tillis, he, of course, announced on October the 2nd that he was positive for coronavirus. He returned to D.C. today. He was in the Judiciary Committee hearing for Amy Coney Barrett. Tillis, a North Carolina Republican, released a letter from Dr. Jack Faircloth, his personal physician, that cleared him to end his COVID isolation at 4 p.m. on Monday. In the letter, Faircloth wrote that Tillis had been asymptomatic for at least 8 days. Quote, you are free to return to work without any restrictions on October 13th, 2020, Faircloth wrote. So, and again, we'll get to the hearing in a little bit. An interesting story out of Town Hall. In fact, I saw this, I thought of you, Benny, because I'm a little bit more optimistic than you've been. Perhaps this will make you more optimistic. One metric that has decided every presidential winner since 1988, and Trump has a lock on it. Article in today's Town Hall. Again, David Chapman and PollWatch are two good accounts that have been tracking the polling this cycle and cutting through the nonsense from the liberal media. There's been a lot of funny business with polling folks, firms conducting polls around the same time but getting different results. We have shy Trump voters. We have youth vote interest tanking in this election cycle to levels not seen since 2000. Some polls have 1 million fewer young people voting this year. But somehow Biden is going to win by 12 points. It's unreliable to the nth degree. So what Chapman did was compile a thread that cuts through a lot of the liberal media silliness out there. For starters, he nixes the idea that bad economies kill incumbents. Yes, that was the case for Bush 41, but historically the incumbent party is 12 to 11 when facing re-election during an economic downturn. And speaking of incumbents, Chapman adds, no incumbent has received at least 75% of the primary vote and lost re-election. Donald Trump received 94% of primary vote, which is the fourth highest of all time, higher than Eisenhower, Nixon, Clinton, and Obama. And it gets better. 3 times in history, America has faced a pandemic, recession, and civil unrest during an election year. The incumbent party is 3-0 in those elections. What about the polls? Well, polls are predicting a Trump's win. ABC poll shows Trump with a 19-point enthusiasm advantage. He noted that every candidate who held the edge in voter enthusiasm since 1988 has won an election. During the Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court nomination hearing, we heard a lot about history and how it's against the GOP filling this Supreme Court vacancy left by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Well, here's some bad news for Biden. No one who has served more than 15 years in the Senate has been elected president. Biden has been there for nearly 4 decades.
Why am I here?
Good question. It's why Chapman added that by every historic metric and trend, Trump is the one on the path to winning this election. Here's his thread. This is again from David Chapman and PollWatch. My prediction is based solely on history and historical trends. The biggest issue in the campaign is COVID-19. There has been 11 incumbents to face a pandemic during re-election. The incumbent is 11-0 from 1820 until today. Many experts say bad economies end incumbents' careers. This is not true. The incumbent party is 12-11 when facing re-election during a bad economy. There is a huge correlation to primary performance with this historical trend. Since the first primary in 1912, 7 incumbents have faced a bad economy during re-election. 5 of those incumbents had very poor primary performances and lost. 2 of them had strong primary performances and won re-election. In fact, no incumbent who has received at least 75% of the primary vote has lost re-election. Donald Trump received 94% of the primary vote, which is the 4th highest all time, higher than Eisenhower, Nixon, Clinton, and Obama. Trump is only one of 5 incumbents since 1912 to receive 90% or more of the primary vote. We've never seen primary participation levels for an incumbent like we did in the 2020 GOP primary. Trump set a record for the most votes received by an incumbent with 18.1 million. The previous record was held by Bill Clinton with 9.7 million primary votes. You know, this is significant because everybody knew Trump would win the primary, and yet they still couldn't wait to go out and vote for him. That's called enthusiasm. We have also had riots. Incumbents are 6-6 when facing re-election during civil unrest, but 4-0 when facing a pandemic and civil unrest. 3 times in history, America has faced a pandemic, recession, and civil unrest during an election year. The incumbent party is 3-0 in those elections. What about polls? Well, polls are predicting Trump's win. The ABC poll shows Trump with a 19-point enthusiasm advantage. Every candidate since 1988 that led in enthusiasm has won the election. Pew gives Trump a 20-point advantage in strength of support. The leader in this poll has won every election since 1964. All the polls show voters expect Trump to win. The expectation question is more accurate. That's interesting. So who do you think is going to win shows Trump with a 20-point advantage, not who are you going to vote for. And again, David Chapman is saying that is more accurate. That is more accurate than voter intention. On polls, the larger the class divide in the electorate, the larger the polling error. There have been many elections where polls just failed to predict anything. 1948, 1952, 1976, 1980, 1996, 2000, 2012, 2014, 2016, and 2018 all had major polling errors. In 2012, the current trend of low response rates began. Since 2012, polls have all gotten worse. The 2018 polls were not any better than the 2016. They were worse. Polls are incapable of predicting anything, especially with cancel culture and pollsters' insistence on going in the field during major news events. 2020 has been one long major news event. So the likelihood of a large response bias is high this year. No one who served 15 years in the Senate has ever become president. Joe Biden has been in the Senate for 36 years. The 14-year rule. No one gets elected president who needs longer than 14 years to get from his or first gubernatorial or Senate victory to either the presidency or the vice presidency. Joe Biden needed 36 years before he became vice president. History is against Biden and in favor of Trump. The only thing that shows Biden winning are polls. By every historical metric and trend, Donald Trump will win this election. That's pretty powerful.
I feel better now.
You can sleep tonight.
Well, I will say, all the historical stuff, there was no 24-hour news cycle.
Right.
with 90+% anti-Trump.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and he's not running against Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton was probably the worst candidate outside of Bob Dole in my lifetime.
Well, and he doesn't even go.
And nothing against Bob Dole, was a war hero and all that, but he was just a horrible candidate.
He was. I mean, he was a boring, horrible candidate. But this historical document doesn't even go into the rally, what we talked to Tim about yesterday. You know, the fact that the rallies are packed out. And again, there was another rally. I think he was in Ohio this time. And he was literally in a parking lot. Joe Biden, I'm talking about, was literally in a parking lot talking to some pickup trucks. I'm not kidding. There's a couple of reporters out there, somebody taking pictures. There's a large black screen in front of him. I have no idea what the black screen was there. And there was like 6 or 8 brand new GMC pickup trucks. He was talking to pickup trucks. Across the street were a bunch of Trump supporters chanting 4 more years. And there was, why do you campaign to pickup trucks? I mean, it looked like they went to some dealership and said, hey, we'll give you $500 if you drive those pickup trucks into the parking lot so it looks like there's a crowd. I mean, it's bizarre. Bizarro world.
Did you see Sleepy Joe yesterday? He made the statement, you know, when I was running against the Mormon guy. He could not remember Mitt Romney's name, but think about
what else did he do?
But think about if Trump said, you know, I can't think of the guy's name, but the Jewish guy or whatever.
Yeah.
The poor guy, he has lost his baseball and high weeds.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
In fact, he said something else yesterday, which we got to take a break, but we'll get to after the break. But Cousin Eddie is he's off the reservation. But some good news there. I thought Trump was going to win anyway. After reading this, I'm really excited. Stay with us. More news and views coming up.
GoEco is the office equipment company that people all over eastern North Carolina are turning to for their office copier and equipment needs. GoEco sells and services Canon copiers and office products. They have a great service team that's quick to respond when you need them. We here at Interbanks Media just made the switch to GoEco, and they're saving us money in printing costs. Other businesses in and around Greenville are making the switch too. Dirk's Chiropractic switched over a year ago and saved money. GoEco bought out their existing lease, and Dirk's Chiropractic received better products fitting their needs. In fact, GoEco has saved local clients who have switched over $178,000. Oh, and some businesses might qualify for no payments until 2021. Call Area Sales Director Tom Watkins at GoEco for a free consultation today. 252-227-0581 or email info@goeconc.com. Save money by switching to GoEco.
Raleigh politicians put big cities first and rural communities last. But Chris Humphrey is one of us. Humphrey helped balance North Carolina's budget so we can combat crises like COVID. Humphrey fought to raise teacher pay and secure millions in COVID relief for small businesses and workers so local families can weather this storm. Chris Humphrey, fighting for us because he's one of us. Humphrey for State House.
I'm Chris Humphrey, and my campaign paid for this ad.
It's the annual Beargrass Chicken Mall Festival, Saturday, October 24th in downtown Beargrass. Live entertainment, vendors, a petting zoo, classic car cruise-in, games, and youth poultry show. And don't forget the delicious Chicken Mall. There's something for the entire family to enjoy at the Beargrass Chicken Mall Festival, Saturday, October 24th from 9 to 5 in downtown Beargrass. Special thanks to Martin County Tourism Development Authority, First National Bank, and Dominion Energy. Find them on Facebook at Chicken Mall Festival or online at chickenmallfestival.com.
With over 50 stores in eastern North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Duck Through Food Stores offers brand name gas in a wide range of food, snacks, and beverages. Get your Duck Through Rewards card and receive 25 cents off per gallon upon registration. After that, Duck Through Rewards members receive 3 cents off on all gallons of gas up to 20 gallons. And cool rewards like buy 6 20-ounce Pepsi products and get the 7th free. Get your Duck Through Rewards card now and start earning points for discounts on gas and free drinks and snacks. Duck Through. Is there something about your water that you just can't stand? Maybe it's the way your water tastes, or maybe it's the residue that your water leaves behind. Contact Connecticut Water Systems, your local licensed water treatment contractor. They'll come to your house and professionally test your water to see what's causing those problems and give you a free, no-obligation estimate to fix it. If you want pure and safe water for you and your family, contact Connecticut Water Systems at ConnecticutNC.com. That's ConnecticutNC.com.
Many voices.
I'm a black Trump supporter. I believe that there's more of us out there.
Countless opinions.
The more they attack Trump,
I am voting for Trump,
the stronger he gets.
I believe this whole cheat by mail.
I just would like to know if you think Americans are dumb enough to vote for Biden.
And one place to have the conversation.
Joe Biden has been a politician for about 18% of our history, and now he's going to change things?
The run-up to Election Day happens here. History as it happens on News and Views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, welcome back in. I just feel optimistic. I mean, I know one article shouldn't. I mean, I've thought Trump is going to win all along, but I really feel like I felt 4 years ago. You know, there came a point where I thought, okay, I think he's going to win. And then I said, oh, he's got it. And that's how I'm feeling now. He's got it.
I don't remember, how soon did you feel that
he's got it?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think I felt that slam dunk feeling when Hillary Clinton came to Pitt Community College. Mm-hmm. And I drove by there and there wasn't anybody there. And I said, okay. And, it was, I don't know how, I think it was probably a month before that he was down in Kinston and there's 20,000 people there. There was 20,000 people there last night in Sanford, Florida.
Oh, they were everywhere.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how many people are going to show up.
The guy's got energy. You got to give it to him.
Do you think you could use YouTube videos as a poll? For example, I've been searching our show, stuff, prep stuff, and I come across Biden videos, like why he's not going to get a vote, and just looking at the likes, 100K likes that match the comments supporting Trump. So I find a bunch of videos that are just like that.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives me.
Again, if nothing
not a slam dunk.
If nothing else, that is a reflection of the enthusiasm.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And I think the enthusiasm is important. Taking a look at your weather forecast tonight, it's going to be partly cloudy with a low around 53. The nights are getting cooler. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 76. Perfect. Tomorrow night, clear, low 51. Sunny and a high near 80 on Thursday. So you got to love Eastern North Carolina's fall weather. Weather brought to you by our friends at Ironwood. Celebrate your big event this year at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Brand new, gorgeous, unbelievable plantation-style clubhouse is the perfect setting to host your wedding, birthday, anniversary, baby reveal, business party, holiday party. Christmas is coming. Ironwood offers several private party spaces leading out to terraces with beautiful views of our Lee Trevino signature golf course. And I just heard last night the holiday party calendar is filling up. So if you want to do that, contact Taylor Hetzel. She's the banquet manager out there. Her number is 252-752-4653, or email Taylor foodandbeverage@ironwoodgolf.com. They'll take care of everything for you. I promise you, you're going to love it, and so will your guests. Whether it's a gathering of 12 or 120, they'll take care of everything. In that bumper that Clark just played, coming back from the advertisements, it had a voice there of, I'm a black for Trump. Candace Owen posted a video on her Twitter page Monday, which was out of Washington, D.C. We talked yesterday about the Blue Lives Matter, support the police events that were across the country. There was one out in D.C. And this is cut to, Clark, if you got it. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this was an event in Washington, D.C., supporting the police, and it was all kinds of demographics, races in there, blacks, Hispanics, Caucasians, everybody was there. There was a strong percentage of blacks at this support the police rally. And at one point in the rally, they broke out singing this.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early was so proudly we hailed at the twilight.
So anyway, that went on, and at the end of the national anthem, and the more they sang, it was started by a young lady, a young black woman. By, moments later, the entire crowd was singing, and you can't really hear the entire crowd because the mic's focused on that one woman, and they started chanting USA, USA. But it was, when you look at what Black Lives Matter, when they get together for a, quote, peaceful protest or some sort of gathering, they burn down the city. These guys gathered, and they broke out in the national anthem. It was, it restores your faith that what we're seeing from the national media and from these orchestrated, funded, burn down the city protests are just that. It's not a true reflection of who we are as a nation.
Yeah, and I think the national media, honestly, they have blood on their hands with some of these riots and protests because they have really really instigated, I think, a lot of the violence.
561-8255. That video's on the website? Oh, we just played? Okay. All right. Yeah, if you want to go watch that video, Clark just put it up on our website. News and Views. News and Views.
That's News and Views with Tom.com.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, I do it for a living.
561-8255. Let's go to Daryl down in New Bern. Hey, Daryl.
Hey, Daryl.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Doing well. Good to hear from you.
You get so many people calling, but I wasn't a huge Trumper last election. I'm the one who used to call you and tell you he was a buffoon.
Okay.
I'm more of a supporter now, simply because I hate what the other side is doing, and it makes me afraid because I have family members that are in their 30s and they have kids that they listen to the media. They absolutely hate him. They think they blame the COVID outbreak on him. They call him insane. It's like nothing but the news media talking points. They don't research exactly what happened, and you can't argue about Biden. They don't see it, and it makes me afraid.
Are they enthusiastically out there saying, I can't wait to go out and vote?
No.
Yeah. So if they missed on voting day, if they missed an election day, didn't get out there on the 3rd, or forgot to send in their ballot, or forgot to go to early voting, it's no big deal. Is that their attitude?
Well, no, because they actually passionate about, not passionate about the Democratic Party, but just passionate about hating Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm not sure that is the enthusiasm that they're going to need to get old Sleepy Joe over the finish line.
Well, I don't either. But this year, a matter of fact, I'll be there Friday morning, early voting. So,
hey Daryl, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you vote for Donald Trump in 2016?
No.
Are you going to vote for him this time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's significant, Daryl. I really do. I think that what we're hearing from the media is that people that voted for him last time aren't going to vote for him this time. I think it's the opposite. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't any, but I think there are more people like you than there are the other way around.
Well, the problem is, in my family, is their parents don't talk politics to them. And when I ask them, I'm going like, why are they so stupid? I said, are they really that crazy? Oh, we don't talk politics. And I'm going, well, how do they get informed that? I talk to my daughter about it all the time.
Yeah, good for you.
And she's very passionate about it. She's quite libertarian like I am.
Right.
Because I'm more libertarian. I'm actually a Ronald Reagan conservative, but I touch base more with the libertarian view than I do this Republican Party. But since that's what we have, that's what I vote.
Right.
And that's what she's going to do. She would love to vote the libertarian ticket, but she knows it's wasted.
Right, and you don't want to waste your vote. If it wasn't for some of the moral issues, I'd be a libertarian as well. I mean, I do think there is certain moral issues that you do need to have government guidance on. I mean, for drugs, for example, or sexual immorality. I mean, I think there are consequences to those things that need to be monitored by the government. But other than that, I'd probably would be a libertarian.
Well, I'm a Reagan conservative. That's what I've always identified as a Reagan conservative, and that's.
I mean, I'm a libertarian in the sense that I believe that people ought to enjoy their liberties to the fullest extent that they can without hurting others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, and that's me.
Yeah.
Well, Daryl, you can tell your friends that it's as simple as this. And I'll rob a quote from Victor David Hanson, which is a fellow at the Hoover Institute.
Smart guy.
You are voting for if you want civilization this election. It's that plain and simple. And if you don't believe it, just turn on the TV every night.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
Daryl, thank you for the call. Appreciate it. And don't tell your friends that they're nuts and stupid to their face. If they're listening, he wasn't talking about you. He was talking about some other stupid people.
I've been working on that a long time, and I'm just about there where I cannot do that.
You not call people stupid?
Yeah, but I've advanced to you're willfully ignorant.
There you go. Why? There you go. So Joe Biden has made another Trump ad. Now I've been talking about.
Come on, man.
I've been talking about this story that came out last week, where 56%, it's all times high, 56% of Americans say that they're better off today than they were. I think it was Gallup. They're better off today than they were 4 years ago. And again, that number back in February was 61%. So Cousin Eddie, a.k.a. Uncle Joe, was being interviewed, and the interviewer asked him about this Gallup poll. You know, what do you say to the people if this poll says 56% of the people say, yes, I'm better off today than I was 4 years ago? How do you respond? Cut one.
Gallup reported last week 56% of Americans said that they were better off today than they were 4 years ago, would have been under the Obama-Biden administration. So why should people who feel that they are better off today under the Trump administration vote for you?
Well, if they think that, they probably shouldn't.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
Absolutely.
I mean, so Joe, don't you realize that 56% is a majority there, Joe? I mean, I know you're probably not really that good in math.
I promise you, the president has a big stick.
Yeah. How about a brain?
Hey, Tom, my wife texted me something about my comment about I've advanced to, you're not stupid or willfully ignorant. She says, no, you've advanced to, I believe that you believe that you're right. I think I have said that before.
Anyway, so Joe is saying, okay, if you think you're better off than you were 4 years ago, 56% of Americans, go ahead and vote for Donald.
If he was at a town hall and a voter asked him that, he'd say, well, you don't know what the hell you're talking about if you think you're better off. I mean, that's what he would say.
The Daily Wire is reporting that a Roman Catholic bishop in Knoxville, Tennessee, urged Democrat nominee Joe Biden to rethink his support of abortion in light of the fact that God is going to judge him. A question for Mr. Biden, Bishop Rick Stricka tweeted Sunday, at your judgment before God, how will you explain changing your position about abortion, and how will you explain promoting no limits and allowing all protections removed, protecting the most innocent? It's really interesting. In that vice presidential debate, Kamala was incensed that somehow Mike Pence was questioning the faith of Kamala and Joe Biden. We're both very deep people of faith. Of course, Joe is supposed to be a devout Roman Catholic, not so much when it comes to abortion. Also, there was, in 2019, Father Robert Morey of St. Anthony Catholic Church in Florence, South Carolina, just down the road from us, he denied Biden Holy Communion because of his stance on abortion. From 2019, sadly, this past Sunday, I had to refuse Holy Communion to the former Vice President Joe Biden. Robert Morey of St. Anthony Catholic Church said Holy Communion signifies that we're one with God, each other, and our church. Our actions should reflect that. Any public figure who advocates for abortion places himself or herself outside of the church teaching.
Come on, man.
Yeah, sorry, Joe. The Catholic Church, and this is just from observation, the Catholic Church traditionally over my lifetime has sided more empathetically with Democrats. Because I think I think in a sense we want to help the poor. They've got good hearts. They've got all these social programs. But right now the Catholic Church is standing pretty strong on these moral issues, and when it comes to the sanctity of marriage, the sanctity of life, and those two issues at the top of the charts, the Roman Catholic Church is leading the way.
Except for the Pope likes socialism.
Yeah, the Pope right now in the Catholic Church is almost the outlier.
He actually is, yeah.
561-8255. We got to take another time out. We'll get to your phone calls as soon as we get back. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll get to you, I promise. We'll be.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, forgetful,
Who put this banana in the toaster?
you did?
Cool, okay, just checking.
And even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
October is now Rocktober. With these unbelievable deals at Doug Henry Ford in Aiden, they don't have just 0% financing like everyone else. They have 0% and up to $4,500 on extra rebates with your trade-in.
That's right. You heard it correctly.
0% at Doug Henry Ford of Aiden, along with $4,500 in extra rebate. Brand new Expedition, 0%. Brand new Explorer, 0%. Brand new Edge, you got it, 0%. Brand new Escape, well, just in case, 0%. Check out these incredible Rocktober deals right now at Doug Henry Ford in Aiden. I promise it will be worth the trip. Rock it out this month at Doug Henry Ford of Aiden and get the absolute lowest deals of the year during this Rocktober sales event. At Doug Henry Ford, they say they will not be beat. Doug Henry Ford, Aiden.
Trade-in assistance available if you currently own or lease a 1995 or newer Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, car, truck, or SUV. Doug Henry Ford and Aiden will offer trade assistance cash for to purchase an eligible vehicle.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street, and get a Fast Pass for only $9.99 at the new location on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
For more than 85 years, families in and surrounding Pitt County have trusted Wilkerson Funeral Home and the Wilkerson family to serve them when they have experienced the loss of a loved one.
With the addition of Farmer Funeral Service in Aiden, we now have 3 traditional funeral homes, each with their own chapel, serving all faiths. We also recently introduced Winterville Cremation and Funeral Services, a new concept created to better serve families seeking a simpler and less costly funeral.
From the combination of our successful pre-need program, our multi-garden cemetery featuring traditional burial, mausoleums, niches, and a new open-air chapel, the Wilkerson family continues to be innovative and the trusted choice in funeral care. Let us introduce you to the growing Wilkerson family of companies. Chances are we may have already touched your family. If so, we thank you. If not, you can count on and trust us to serve your family with the same dignified and compassionate care that we have been known for since 1932.
To learn more, visit wilkersonfuneralhome.com.
2020 presidential election.
I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts.
Let us take a sober look at what is at stake. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Beat Donald Trump.
Life is chaos, and you never know what to expect. So get in and hang on with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, welcome back. Tom and Benny with you on the phone. Thomas from Greenville, 561-8255. Hey, Thomas.
Good afternoon. I'll be very, very quick. I can just say this, that to anyone, regardless of party, who's evaluating these candidates, You can use the admonition from either religion, if you don't. Some people don't like to mention religion, of course, or life in general, that we judge things by what they produce. Galatians speaks to that as far as the Bible.
You know,
So
they know them by their fruits.
Just view what the Democrats are supporting right now. I would encourage people to just be observant and see what they're supporting: anarchy, abortion, etc. And then that should solve the situation. But actually, I think, and I'm 65, Tom, and in this election, I almost feel like I'm voting for or against God. I feel that in my heart. But and one other thing, I've uncovered the origins of Antifa. It originated, I think, in the northwestern North Carolina and southwestern Virginia, in the person of Ernest T. Bass, who used to throw rocks. And one difference, though, he had a little repentive nature about him, and so I can say, and he wanted an education. So that's right. Some of these other ones, but I won't keep you long. But everybody, use that test.
Yeah.
Is what are they producing, and what kind of fruits are they producing?
Well,
do a great job, Tom.
Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate the call. Ernest T. Bass. It's me as Ernest T. He's right though. Go read the party platforms.
Bingo. I've been saying that to several folks in the last few weeks, and I asked them that. No, I haven't read it, and I said, "Well, you're not going to believe a summary that I'll give you because I've read it. I've read it, highlighted, and I said, just go read it."
Yeah.
I don't think they will support what's in that platform.
No. And Donald Trump says this every time he makes a speech. He'll probably say it Thursday in Greenville. But the very fact that when they met, they twice took "under God" out of the Pledge of Allegiance. It might have been a mistake the first time. Okay, we get once. Shame on you. Twice, shame on me. And, they did it twice. 561-8255. Let's go to, is it Mike in Columbia? Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mr. Tom, Mr. Bennie, how are you?
Hey, Mike.
Good to hear from you.
Good to talk to you. I can't follow that last guy, though. He was pretty short.
Oh, you're right there with him, Mike. Come on.
I was going to tell you, you were talking earlier about Pelosi being worse than Biden. That's what happens when you drink about a gallon of vodka a day. It turns your brain to mush.
That's an appropriate question for you to ask.
I weren't saying it. I was telling you, lady. I weren't asking.
we remember when she was Speaker of the House the first time, after she got bumped from being the Speaker of the House the first time, there was reports out from the Air Force because they were shuttling her back and forth from San Francisco every week. She'd have a private charter jet for all intents and purposes. That was one of the perks of being the Speaker of the House, and the amount of booze that they went through in a year's time made your head spin. Made her head spin too, probably. But you're right.
I just had my hair washed.
As Speaker, she's one of the few House members that get actually Secret Service protection,
right.
Or maybe it's Capitol Police protection, or both. I would love to talk to those guys that's been around her all these years.
The inside scoop. And you heard that same inside scoop for the guys that protected Hillary, and what a Hilda beast she was.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate the call. 561-8255. Let's go to Brian. Hey, Brian.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing well. Good to hear from you.
Hey, a little bit of information about Father Robert Morey. He was from Morehead City, and out of law school, he moved to Greenville, and he practiced law here for a while.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he was very active in the Catholic Church here in Greenville, and then he went up to Washington, D.C., and worked for the Reagan administration for a bit, and then became a priest.
How about that?
Was it Johnny
he was
Carson?
in Greenville for 3 years.
Okay. Is he still down in South Carolina now? Down in Florence?
He's in South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina.
Okay. How about that? How about that? Small world. A little bit of trivia there. Appreciate it, Brian. Good to hear from you.
You're welcome.
All right.
561-8255.
Let's go to Margaret. Hey, Margaret.
Hi, Tom. I'm just calling because I'm so sick and tired of Biden always saying he's from Scranton. I know Scranton very well, and he's hoping that people don't know it. He hasn't done anything for Scranton or for music. And Mr. Butterfield, the last 3 times in less than 2 weeks, one being today, that I called his D.C. office, there is no recording there. They just say, we're busy, call back. No recording. They say, call our Wilson number. So you call Wilson. guess what?
We're busy.
No
Call
one
back.
answers in Wilson. All they have is a recorder. And if you want an example of what's to come, look at California. You have Pelosi, Feinstein, Adam Schiff, Maxine Waters, Eric Stilwell. That's their state. If they can't handle their own state, and they can't tell the rest of us what to do.
Well, of course,
Even
now,
Schumer.
I mean, Pelosi's up there trying her best to get COVID money to bail out California. And of course, Trump won't do it, but, that's, I don't know how many trillions she had in there, but a bunch of that money was to bail out California. And you're right, it's been run like a bunch of drunken sailors. My apologies to the sailors. Thank you for the call.
The Kennedy Center must be doing well with all the COVID money.
Yeah, probably so. Thank you, Margaret. Appreciate it. 561-8255. We've got to take another timeout. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If being at home more has made you ready for a change in your surroundings, then now is the perfect time to visit Hardy's Appliance and Furniture in Snow Hill. Enjoy comfort, ease of care, and exceptional deals on quality home furnishings. New arrivals of the best-selling collections by Panama Jack are now in stock. With a focus on ease and comfort, every piece of Panama Jack Home Furnishings collections is perfectly at home in any part of the world. When you're ready to put your feet up, relax in the luxurious comfort of Italian leather. High-quality leather reclining sofas are a must-see and offer the comfort you deserve. Coastal living sofas and sectionals are a perfect fit for any home. Hardy's has great selections and great prices on coastal living closeouts. They also have a great selection on Paula Deen closeout pieces. Not enough counter space in your kitchen? A beautiful Paula Deen kitchen island will take care of that. Ready for a new bedroom look? Take a look at Paula Deen Furniture. Make your home a place that you never want to leave. Hardy's Appliance and Furniture, North Green Street, Snow Hill. You get a better deal in Snow Hill.
Our local police matter. That is why Tony Moore is running for North Carolina House. Tony's opponent, Candy Smith, has had several run-ins with law enforcement and court summons in multiple counties. Police officers filed a lawsuit against Candy Smith, alleging that she was initiating confrontations and interactions with GPD officers to file complaints against them. Our local law enforcement have a difficult job and deserve our support.
I am Tony Moore, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tony Moore to NC House.
Considering divorce, it's a very trying and disruptive time in the life of a couple and families. But there is a way to divorce healthy. That may sound contradictory, but attorney Ashley Nicole Russell is an expert in and literally wrote the book on collaborative divorce at the A&R Law Firm. If you choose collaborative instead of litigation, you'll save a lot of money and a lot of heartache for you and your children. Ashley Nicole Russell even has a podcast to help educate you. Her podcast, Divorce Healthy, has a lot of new episodes and guest experts in the divorce industry from across the country. In an effort to be full service to their clients, the A&R Law Firm has added Canon Legacy Accounting to their Eastern North Carolina offices, with accounting and tax preparation to ensure their clients have the best foundation. Divorce does not have to be disruptive, especially in these unprecedented times. That's why you should call the A&R Law Firm with offices in Greenville, Beaufort, and Raleigh. Learn more at anrlaw.com.
And here's the snap. Crack open a Hampton Farms in-shell peanut, and the game's in your hands. The only peanuts with flavor roasted inside the shell, Hampton Farms are healthy, high protein, and fun to crack open and crunch. In your backyard or on your flat screen, bust open classic game day in-shells with football at home. Find us in the produce section of your local grocery store. With Hampton Farms, every day is opening day.
News and views.
He's kind of a diva.
He's absolutely fascinating.
Ultimate gentleman spy. Irresistible to women, deadly to his enemies, a legend in his own time.
You won't believe what he's going to say next on Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Here's Tom Lamprecht.
All right, welcome back. Really haven't gotten a chance to mention the hearings today, but the Republicans hit it out of the park. Go Google Ted Cruz's time when he was talking to Amy Coney Barrett, and he just tore up the Democrats, especially Shelton Whitehouse and Citizens United. That's worth going and listening to. Also, it was really interesting. John Cornyn of Texas asked, all the senators have pages and pages of notes and notebooks and prepared remarks and everything else. He looked at Amy Coney Barrett and said, you have a pad in front of you. What's on your pad? And she held up an empty pad and said, well, what does it say on there? And she said, nothing other than the type of the pad says the United States Senate. She had no crypt notes. Everything she was doing was from her out of her brain, and she was articulate. She was flawless. She was impressive.
And as they say, the truth is easy to remember.
Yeah. 561-8255. Real quickly, we have, I think, a Sally on the line. Hey, Sally.
Hey, I just want to ask you a real quick question because I'm too lazy to look it up myself. How many congressmen do we have to have or senators to win back the House and the Senate?
Well, we control the Senate right now, so
to keep the Senate, we got to have. But I mean, to really have control, actually, have real control. How many any would be better, I guess. But how many congressmen do we need to take?
Well,
back the House?
in the House, there's 197 Republicans. There's 232 Democrats. There's one Libertarian, and there's 5 vacancies. So basically, we need 30. Well, no, not 35 because they would reduce. We would go up. So don't ask me. That's a tough math question.
Yeah,
maybe we can do it next time.
Republicans controlled it 2016 and 2018 they lost it, flipped the House. I think Tom Tillis will be the key to keeping the Senate.
Yeah. So, which I think now the Cal Cunningham can't keep his zipper up. That's good news. We've got 30. The difference is 35. So half of 35 is so if we got
17,
yeah, if we got 18, we would take back the House.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, pray for our country.
Well, I'm like you. Amy Comey Bryant is wonderful.
Yes.
She is heaven.
Very
She's the smartest
impressive.
woman I've ever seen, I think. Okay, thank you very much.
You bet. By the way, the feminist attacked Amy Coney Barrett and her motherhood, calling her, can I say this on the air? I guess I can. It's just insulting. I'm not even going to say what they said, but the inference was she's had way too many babies, and it's like clowns coming out of a clown car. I'm not going to repeat.
That's just rude. That's all.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how rude and disrespectful they are. But hey, anyway. Hey, thanks for being with us. We'll do it again tomorrow. In fact, we're going to have Laura Trump on tomorrow. So be with us. We'll see you at 5. Bye-bye, everybody.
Hey, this is Gray Fussell, and I'm a junior at East Carolina. In a few weeks, I'll be turning